So today we will learn about gears, types of gears. Got it? Let us start the types of gears. Types of gears. So the gears are classified on the basis of how the shafts are arranged, because it is very important for a gear that how the shafts are arranged, because unless there is a shaft there is no use of gears. Gears are always mounted on a shaft, something like this. This is gear and this is shaft. Got it? So this is gear and this is shaft. So this is suppose gear, so this is shaft. So the first classification is the parallel shaft. When the shafts are parallel, like here, one shaft and the another shaft here, two shafts parallel and two gears. Another classification is non-parallel shafts. Non-parallel shafts. Non-parallel shafts, when the shafts are not parallel, they will intersect. So non-parallel and intersecting, something like this. And the third classification is, if the shafts are not parallel and they are intersecting somewhere at infinity, then we can always say neither parallel nor intersecting. Yeah, it is practically intersecting at infinity. So for such case we consider it is not intersecting, like something like this. So in the three cases the arrangements of gears are important. So what kinds of gears are used in these three shafts? We will give different names to the different shafts. So the first one is, when the shafts are parallel, we use two types of shafts. Two types of gears. The one is a spur gear and another is helical gear. Now I will tell you what are the spur gear and what is the helical gear. When here is non-parallel but intersecting, we will use bevel gear. Generally bevel gear. Now there is another classification of bevel gear. Here also there is a classification of helical gear. And when the gears are neither parallel nor intersecting, we use the gear name is hypoid gears. Hypoid gears. Got it? Now we will move on the classification. How that? Suppose this is the gear. It looks something like this. It is something like this. So when you see from front view, you will see something like this. You will see this one gear, you will see like this. So we can always draw the spur gear like this, and these teeth are parallel to the shaft. Teeth are parallel to shaft. So such gears are given name spur. Spur. Got it? So such gears whose teeth are parallel to each other, they will parallel to each other, always parallel to each other. But when they are parallel to shaft, such gears are known as spur gear. Now there is another gear. If the gear is like this, see, you can see this is the shaft and this is the gear. Now the teeth are not parallel to the shaft, it is inclined to the shaft. Got it? It is inclined to the shaft. So in front view you can see this is the gear, so this inclination of the teeth. So when teeth are inclined, so if it is plural then we use tooth. So tooths are inclined to an angle. They are inclined to an angle. So such gears are known as helical gears. Now if this is inclined in such a way, that it is making acute angle. It is making acute angle with negative x-axis. It is called left hand helical. Left hand helical. And if it is such, it can always make an angle like this. So when it is making a obtuse angle with negative x-axis, we will call it right-handed. See, this is your right hand. You cannot incline more than this in this way, but if you want to incline this way, it can be inclined very easily. So this is known as a right hand inclination. In the same way, left hand cannot be inclined this way, it can only be inclined in this way. But so this is known as left hand. Now the another is when the shafts are non-parallel and intersecting. We have the third classification, that is that bevel gear will be look like something like this. When it is 3D, it will look something like this. A cone that has been cut parallel to its base. Got it? This is now again, so we can draw it like this. This is how it looks like, the bevel gear. Now the another bevel gear here, it's conjugate. Now again the same case, the teeth can be parallel to the shaft, or inclined to the shaft. So the bevel gears will be again the same classification as there is the helical gear, left hand bevel gear and right hand bevel gear, and the same concept as it was in helical gear will be applied here in the bevel gear for its classification in left hand and right hand bevel gear. But you can see how bevel gear is there. Now there is one special case when these shafts are not parallel and they are intersecting in such a way that the axis of the two shafts makes, got it, making an angle 90 degree. So in that case, the bevel gear looks like this. And if the teeth on number of teeth on bevel gear 1 and number of teeth on second are equal, then this is known as mitre gear. This is given a special name when it is at 90 degree and it has got equal number of tooths. So this is mitre gear. Now the third classification, which I cannot make with papers as I made the earlier 2 or 3. So such gears is known as hypoid gears, which are actually generated from a skew lines. So these are skewed, these are not at any particular angle, these are not parallel, they are skewed, the teeth are skewed. So such gears are known as hypoid gears. They are generally used when the space is very less. Got it? These are the 3 important classifications. And there is another, worm and worm wheel. Worm gear and worm wheel. So worm wheel and wheel gear itself a very large topic, we will discuss someday later. But for today we just learn there is another classification, that is worm and worm wheel. It will be like a lead screw and the gear will be going like this. It will be rotating on that. Got it? So it will be like a lead screw rod and the gear will be rotating on that. So it is used for very high velocity ratio changes. So it is worm and worm wheel. Got it? And there is one last I would like to say you, there is a rack and pinion gear system. When like earth is a very large radius, so wherever you see, you see like a flat surface. In the same way, if the gear is of very large radius, so you will see something like flat somewhere. The same way, this is the flat. A gear with infinite radius looks flat, and the another gear with a small radius rolling on that is known as pinion. So this is known as rack and pinion system, where one gear is of very large radius. Got it? So these are the basic classification of the gears which I explained you today. So thank you very much. You can always comment and subscribe to my video, and you can always suggest what topic you want to get covered from me. Thank you very much.